Okay, so what can be the answer for the first one? The board of directors has determined 4 options to increase working capital next year. Option 1, to increase current assets by $120, decrease current liabilities by $50. Okay. Option 2 is to decrease the current asset, increase the current asset, sorry, by 180 and increase the current liability by 100. See, what does it mean? A board of directors has determined 4 options to increase working capital next year. Let's say, what is the formula for working capital? Working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. Okay, let's say my current assets are $100 and my current liabilities currently is $50. So my working capital will be $50. Okay. Now we want the working capital to increase next year. We will put one option and see whether in which case it is increasing from this position of 50. Okay. Option 1, to increase current assets by 120. So I'll just increase the current assets by 120 and decrease the current liabilities by 50. So it will become 220 minus 0. Okay. So what is happening? My working capital has become what? 220. Is it right? It has increased from 50 to 220. How much is the increase in this? $170. Come on, tell me yes or no. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Second option, increase the current assets by 180. So 100 plus 180 and decrease the current liabilities by 30.
Increase, sir.
Sorry, minus 50
Plus.
minus 30. Okay. Okay, fine. Anything is okay. 280 minus 80 is how much?
200.
200. Okay. When I compare this to, in which option you think it is increasing?
Option A. 1.
Option A, option this one, right?
1.
Option 1. Yeah, option 1. Till now, option 1 we have got. Option 2 is not increasing that much. Decrease current assets, decrease current assets is not going to increase the current, is not going to increase the working capital. So option 1 is the answer. Okay, shall we move forward if you have done this? Yes. If a firm increases its cash balance by issuing additional shares of common stock, net working capital what? Tell me. Of course, increases and the current ratio increases. See, if the company wants to increase the cash balance, they want cash and they are issuing additional shares for that. What happens? The entry would be cash account debit, the cash would increase and capital would also increase. Okay, increase capital is always a credit account. And then what will this do is in turn the cash balance is increasing and also your working capital will also increase because of the increase in current assets. So increases and current ratio increases. Okay, fine. Yeah, just a second. So option C. Next question. Determining the appropriate level of working capital for a firm requires what? Can you just try to answer this question?
But I think D option, offsetting the benefit of current assets.
See, determining the appropriate level of working capital for a firm requires maintaining a high proportion of liquid assets to total assets in order to maximize the return on total investments. This is not at all there related to working capital. Change the capital and dividend policy, not at all. it's related to long-term capital, not working capital. Okay.
Okay.
And maintaining high proportion of liquid assets to total assets, no. Total assets, if at all, is increasing, that will give you more return on total investments, not liquid assets. Liquid assets are small proportion of total assets. Maintaining short-term debt at lowest possible level because it is generally more expensive than long-term debt. Who told? Short-term debt is usually less expensive than long-term debt. You pay more interest on long-term debts. All the options are wrong. Then what? See, working capital finance concerns what determination of optimal level of mix and use of current assets and current liabilities. Objective is to minimize the cost of maintaining liquidity while guarding against the possibility of technical insolvency. Technical insolvency is defined as the inability to pay debts as they come due. So that's what we always want to maintain appropriate level of working capital. Go for the next question. In case of conservative working capital policy, it would tend to have what? A company would tend to have what? Increase in ratio of current assets to units of output. See, conservative working capital policy minimizes liquidity risk by increasing net working capital, that is more current assets and less current liabilities. The result is that company forgoes the potential higher returns available from using additional working capital to acquire long-term assets. So a conservative working capital policy is characterized by a higher current ratio, that is more current assets you want. Thus, company will increase current assets or decrease current liabilities. Conservative policy finances assets using long-term or permanent funds rather than short-term sources. So again, I'm saying, see, what is conservative policy? Conservative working capital policy minimizes liquidity risk. Point number one, minimizes liquidity risk. That means they don't want any liquidity risk. How they do that? Excuse me, just a second. Excuse me. Okay. So see, conservative working capital policy, they always want to take very less risk. They always want to minimize liquidity risk. That is what they always focus in the conservative policy. They always want to maintain more and more liquidity. Okay. And they, for that reason, they want increase in working capital. That means more current assets and less current liabilities is what they want to see. Company, then what happens if at all they always want to keep more and more cash reserves? They don't want to take more risk by putting their money into some other investment options. So the result is that company forgoes the potentially higher returns available from using the additional working capital to acquire long-term assets. If they put their money into long-term assets, they may get more benefits, but they always want to maintain more liquidity. So conservative working capital policy is characterized by a higher current ratio and higher quicker ratio. Okay, quick ratio, higher current ratio they want and higher quick ratio they want, and that what more current assets, higher working capital. Okay, don't want to spend much of the working capital for acquiring something. Thus, the company will increase current assets or decrease current liabilities. A conservative policy finances assets using long-term or permanent funds rather than short-term sources. That's what they don't want to use their short-term sources to, buy something big. They always want to take, long-term finances to buy, the tangible assets or long-term assets rather than using short-term funds. Okay, because they always want to maintain more liquidity with them. That is what is all about this. So the first option goes well. Can you tell me the answer for the fifth question fast? All of the following statements in regard to working capital are true except. See, all of the following statements in regard to working capital are true except what?
Sir, B1
Yeah, see,
financing.
financing inventory buildup with long-term debt is an example of aggressive. No, in aggressive policy, what they do is they use more of short-term funds to buy inventory, long-term debt to take more permanent kind of assets is typical of what? Aggressive or conservative?
Conservative.
Conservative or moderate policy, correct? So in conservative or moderate policy, they use long-term debt to, fund long-term, fund their, more permanent kind of assets or long-term assets. So they use what in that case? Long-term debt, but short-term debt is used more in the aggressive policy. Fine. Sixth question, fast. What does sixth question say? Which of the following combined transactions cause net working capital to decrease? Can you do this? I'm waiting. See, which one of the following combined transactions would cause net working capital to decrease? Net working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. Let's say, current assets are, 10 lakhs and current liability is 5 lakhs. Let's take the first one. 1 million decrease in cash. They are saying that would cause net working capital to decrease. If I decrease cash, of course, 1 million decrease in cash will make it 9 lakhs minus 5 lakhs is 4 lakhs. And 1 million increase in fixed assets. $1 million increase in fixed assets is what? If you are increasing your fixed assets, it's not going to do any kind of changes to your working capital. Am I right? Because fixed assets are not part of your working capital. So if at all you are decreasing your current assets, okay, by 1 million, 1 million, right? So let's say this is 1 crore, okay. So 1 million is 10 lakhs. So it is 9 million minus, let's say 5 million, makes it 4 million. It has decreased, right? Increase in cash will not decrease working capital. It will increase working capital. Decrease in cash and increase in inventory. It is, balancing both. One side you are increasing cash, one side same amount you are decreasing inventory. So it will balance. Decrease in cash and same decrease in payables. Okay. So this is also kind of balancing. What is going to happen? Let's say I decrease cash. I have 9 million. I have this. I am decreasing payables. I have 4 million. Okay. So it is going to be 5 million. My working capital is increasing, but only in the first case my working capital is decreasing. Okay. Please make a note of this. We'll move forward fast. Any doubts? Samreen, Ahmad, any doubts?
No, sir.
Hello?
No, sir.
Okay. If this is done, I'll go forward.
Done, sir.
Go for the next question. Of the following, the working capital financing policy that would subject a firm to the greatest level of risk is one where the firm finances what? See, aggressive policy will put the firm into risk, right? Permanent current assets like inventory, if you buy with short-term debt, it's going to be very risky. That is typical of aggressive policy because conservative people don't want to take much risk. So they always want to fund their permanent current assets with long-term debt. So this is, taking very high risk. Okay, shall we move forward?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go for the 8th question. And the effect of plant expansion on working capital will be a dash. Just try to calculate this one. More 2 questions. We're about to finish this section. So a corporation is considering plant expansion that will increase its sales and net income as well. Following data represent management's estimate of the impact the proposal will have on the company. So current situation and the proposed after purchasing the plant. Okay. They are considering a plant expansion that will increase their sales, of course, and also net income. The following data represent management's estimate of the impact the proposal will have on the company that buying the plant. So effect of plant expansion on working capital will be dash. So you can do one thing, right? You can find out the working capital in the current case and proposed case and tell me what are you seeing there? This is the current scenario. This is after the proposal. You tell me what is the effect of the plant expansion on working capital, whether it is increasing or decreasing. Find out the working capital in this case, apply the working capital formula CA minus CL. Here also you apply working capital CA minus CL. Tell me what is happening. So cash you need to take for current assets, account receivable you need to take for current assets, inventory you need to take for current assets, marketable securities you need to take for current assets. Add all of them. How much? 1.24, 5.2, 5.2, 3.6, 5.8, 0.8.
10,60,000.
Yeah, and 10.6. So 10.6. And in this case, what would be
520.
12.9, I think, proposed. Minus your current liability would be how much? 5.2. How much?
4.
5.4. 12.9 minus 7.6. 5.3. With proposal, your working capital has decreased by 10,000, right?
Yes.
Do the ninth question. Company is experiencing a sharp increase in sales activity and steady increase in production. So management has adopted an aggressive working capital policy. Therefore, the company's current level of net working capital would. So whenever there is a aggressive working capital policy, they would always try to put much more money. Short-term funds they would try to take and buy more long-term assets. So would most likely be lower under other business conditions in order that the company can maximize profits while minimizing working capital investment. So they want to minimize the working capital investment. They want to use more short-term funds in to buy permanent assets. Networking. So option D. Networking capital is difference between. My God, why they give such kind of questions? I really don't understand. Okay. Rest of the questions you can practice. You can do. Let's go for another section. Okay, cash management. Shall we go for this? Okay. Okay. No, we decided which sections today. Working capital is done. We'll do marketable securities management. 5 questions. Okay, first question. Please try to solve this and tell me what's the answer. All of the following are alternative marketable securities suitable for investment except. See, all of the following are alternative marketable securities suitable for investment except. So, marketable securities are something,
Sir.
see, which you can easily buy and sell in the market. Okay. This is what you can do, euro dollars. These are short-term marketable securities. Commercial paper issued for 90 to 270 days, short-term marketable securities. US Treasury bill, of course, short-term marketable securities. This is not short-term, this is for long-term. Fine. Shall we move forward? Next one.
Treasury bills can also be considered for long-term securities.
No, treasury bonds can be for long-term. Treasury bills always for 90 to 180 days. That's it.
Okay.
Firm is interested in purchasing a $100 US Treasury bill and was presented with the following options. So, firm is interested in purchasing $100 US Treasury bill and they have been given these options. Option 1, For 180 days, 6% interest rate, 360, 3.5, 128, and 244.5. If the firm wishes to buy the treasury bill at the lowest purchasing price, which option should be chosen, assuming a 360-day year? See, generally, I would like to tell you any particular treasury bill is a discounted instrument. That means issued at discount and redeemed at par. These are not coupon paying bonds. Okay. So what we can do is like to determine the amount of interest the lender will earn. Let's say if you are giving money to the government as loan, you are lender, right? You are lending. So what interest you will earn? So 3.5, let's say, is the rate. This is the discount rate, right? Discount rate. So if the firm wishes to buy the treasury bill at the lowest purchasing price, which option should be chosen? So you can do one thing either. See, if I have to say lowest purchasing rate, let's do one thing then. Option 2. First one is option 2. We will take these 4 options. Option 2, $100 divided by just a second. Discounted. Okay. Yeah. 100 by 1 plus 3.5 by 100 discount factor. You see how much is this? It's for 180 days. So option 3 I'm taking. Just a second. Give me a second. See, while doing such question, one thing you need to clearly check is what are these? Are these the coupon rates? I told you zero coupon bonds. I told you treasury bills are generally discounted bonds. Okay. So they are discounted bonds means discount rate is given. So you have to discount the face value, the redemption value, what you're going to get in the future with a discount factor. What are you getting? Please check. And second option, 100 divided by option 2, right? Option 3, 120 days. 1 plus 0.08. 120 days is nothing but every 120 days you get the interest. So 3 times in a year. Divide by 3 whole power 3. So I'll tell you what to do. It's going to be 2.6. So 100 divided by lowest purchasing price. So 1 plus 1.026 whole power 3. Hundred by 1.08. It's going to be lowest purchasing price. It's 120 days. Okay, we'll do one thing. Okay, we will convert this, we will annualize this. What we'll do, if it is 120 days into 3, 24%. Okay, we will not do like this. Divided by 1.24. Option 4. $180 days, 6%. 12. So 12 by 100. 100 by
Sir, one question. It is said that 360 day years, sir.
just a second, just a second, just a second. Wait, I'm doing. Okay, let's take this in this way. 183 हो जाता है. 180 days. Okay, I understood. These are yearly rates, right? 180 days, 6%. Okay. Fine. Understood. It's only for 180 days the discounting should happen. I'm trying to calculate in different way. Just a minute. These are yearly rates, so we need to half them. Okay. If it is 6% per annum and 180 days is the like final we are considering. So we need to half this. We need to make this 3%. We need to, make this, like there are by 3. We need to make this by 3. 2.6%. We need to make this 3%. 3%, 2.6%, and 3%, 2.6%, and 3%. So what I am saying is the discount factor is the highest in case of 360 days, 3.5%. When the discount factor is higher, more discounting will happen. You will be having the lowest purchase price. Okay. Did you understand? So no need to solve this question. Find out the rates. Here I am getting 3%. It is yearly rate. So if it is, 180 days, I need to half it. If it is 120 days, I need to divide by 3. If it is 240 days, I need to again like divide. I need to check 240 by 360 is how much? 0.66 again into 4.5. That comes around 3%. So first one 3%, 3%, 2.6. 3.5. The highest discount rate is this. When the discount factor is highest, more discounting, lowest price. So option 2 is the answer. Okay. Let's move forward. Tell me the answer for second question fast.
Sir, B1. Yeah, no on it.
Sorry.
B option B, sir. No
Why
default.
D?
B B B
B.
B B A
So for
and B.
treasury bills, they have no
B.
coupon rate, of course, no interest rate risk, of course, but always not issued at par. They are, issued at discount, redeemed at par. No, this is wrong option. They have no coupon rate, no default risk, of course, and interest rate is subject to federal income tax. Yes, at that time, what will be taxed? They'll be deducting the tax and giving the interest to you. Yes. They have an active secondary market, 1 to 24 month. No, only this is for within 1 year. I think it is not exempted from federal income tax. They tax it. It's taxable. Okay, next question answer. Please tell me the answer for this. See, which of the following instruments would be least appropriate for corporate treasurer to utilize for temporary investment of cash? So for temporary investments, you want short-term funds. This is good, but this is for long term. Okay, next question. Best example of security with minimum risk would be, according to me, commercial paper of AAA rated maturity. AAA rated company. That means this is the ratings they have. The best one. Okay. Shall we move forward? I think there are 10 questions. You need to solve the rest of the 5. We're done with 2 sections. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm just checking it. 2 sections are done. Let's do some inventory management. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, let's do this. These are all simple questions only. Yeah, first one. Before doing this, you should have some, idea of the formulas. Let me be very frank. So do the first question, try the first question. Using the standard EOQ model, if EOQ for a product is 200 units and a 50 unit safety stock is maintained for item, what is the average inventory of the product A? So standard, if they are using EOQ model and EOQ happens to be 200. 50 unit safety stock is maintained for item. That means every time when the stock level comes to 50, they will again order. Whenever it comes to 50, then again order. So they will always maintain 50, right? The first stock also they maintain 50, right? Okay. And now they are maintaining 200. So 50 plus 200 divided by 2. So 250. No, just a second. Standard product is 200 safety stock is. Okay. So let's say they have 50 units with them and they are ordering, 200 units. So it will make their order to 250, right? Inventory to 250. And again, if it has to go down, it can go only to 50. Okay, not less than this. So the final inventory can be 50 only, and they started with 50 and 250 they are maintaining. 150 units. See, you should understand the safety stock should always be 50 units. If they receive an order, the next order, because they want to maintain their inventory at EOQ. So they will order 200 units. So then they will be having how much inventory? 250. So 50 they always should maintain. They will make a next order. It will become 200. Their inventory will be 250. Okay. Now this will decline to 50 just prior to the receipt of next order. If at all this has to be, this has to be going down. So it can go down to 50 only. Again, they'll make a next order of 200. Fine. Fine. So again, they'll be having inventory of 250. So they started with 50 and they are having an inventory of 250, again 50, again they are ordering 200, it becomes 250. Fine.
Yes.
So always 50 they should always have, and 250 after the 200 units ordered, they are always like, having the final inventory. That means their opening inventory is this and their closing inventory is this. Correct or wrong? This is their opening inventory kind of, because this they should always have. After ordering 200, they will have 250 with them at any cost. Again, when they'll sell, they'll be left over with 50 in this particular month. Again, this becomes the opening inventory of next month, and then again 200 added. Then their closing inventory will be 250. Then their inventory will be 250. Again, if they have to come down, 50 can be the last they can come down. So this chain is going on from 50 they start, because that they should always have. They order 200, they have 250 now. Okay, this is the inventory. Again, they'll sell it. Again, the inventory will be 50 only. So 250, 50, 250, 50 is going on. Okay. Again, this inventory will become the opening inventory of next month. Again, 200 ordered. Again, they'll be having 250. Again, when they sell, they'll be having 50. So they are always having 250 and 50. So average of that will be 150. Okay, we're finished. Do the second question.
Option C.
No. EOQ is nothing, but you have to maintain some inventory of certain level always. So quantity of each individual order during the year. That means that much you have to always order if you maintain a EOQ. That's what here we were doing. We were always ordering 200. 50 we were maintaining. All of the following are inventory carrying cost except.
Inspection.
Insurance is a holding cost, not carrying cost. Carrying cost is just bringing the inventory from supplier to our godown. Inspection we will do. I think. No. Insurance. Insurance is a holding cost, right? Storage is also holding cost. Now they said all of the following are inventory carrying cost except ordering cost and carrying cost, carrying and holding. Okay, carrying and holding costs are one and the same. So insurance is a carrying cost. It's a holding cost. Holding and carrying are one and the same. Okay.
Okay.
Storage. It's also a holding cost or carrying cost. I don't think inspection is kind of a, carrying cost. It is not a carrying cost. It's only related to storage. So insurance, storage, any kind of obsolescence. Okay. All these are carrying cost or holding cost. Opportunity cost of inventory investment. What is this? See, if you are putting your money in the investment of buying inventories and not putting it somewhere else, then what would happen? You would lose the opportunity of earning from that particular investment option where you did not invest. And inventory can also become obsolete, am I right, or spoil. So opportunity cost of inventory investment and obsolescence and spoilage are inventory holding cost. This is also a holding or carrying cost. Only inspection is not a holding or carrying cost. Next one. Firm calculates that its annual cost to hold excess goods in order to avoid any chance of running out of inventory is 50,000. That means they want to maintain some inventory always so that they shouldn't have any kind of shortage of stock or any kind of like they don't want any kind of shortage happening, correct? Firm calculates that its annual cost to hold excess goods in order to avoid any chance of running out of inventory is 50,000. The 50,000 example of what? I will say carrying cost. Okay, they are putting more 50,000 for carrying cost, holding cost. Next question. Can you give the answer? The new manager of inventory of a major retailer is developing an inventory control system and knows how he should consider establishing a safety stock level. A new manager of inventory at a major retailer is developing an inventory control system and knows he should consider establishing a safety stock level. The safety stock can protect against all of the following risks except for the possibility that see, you maintain your safety stock, right? The distribution of daily sales will have a large variance due to holidays, weather, addressing weekly shopping habits. See, try to understand the question. The new manager of inventory, that means a manager has been appointed to maintain or manage inventory, and he is developing some control system, inventory control system, and he knows he should consider to establish some safety stock level. Always they should have some level of stock with them. They should maintain some level of stock. Safety stock can protect all of the following risks except for the possibility that distribution of daily sales will have a large variance. Yes, sometimes you may not predict how much like you want the inventory to maintain. There, it's not something which is always constant. It will vary, okay, depending upon the holidays, weather, advertising, and weekly shopping habits. Of course, inventory control system is related to this. Customers cannot find merchandise they want and they will go to the competition. No, not at all. New competition may open in the company's market area. Do you think this is something? If you maintain safety stock, can you save yourself from new competition in the market? Not at all. So this is not the answer. Okay. New competitors may come, new competitors may go. That has nothing to do with your company's like expectations of safety stock level. That is your convenience and your safety and security you are seeing. Next question. The carrying costs associated with inventory management include what? What are carrying costs? According to me, storage cost, insurance cost, capital invested, that is opportunity cost, and obsolescence. Option C. Next question. Amount of inventory that a company would tend to hold in safety stock would increase as the dash. See, the amount increases if the cost of carrying inventory decreases. See, the amount of inventory that a company would tend to hold in safety stock would increase as the. So a firm's economic order quantity is what actually EOQ under root 2A O by C. A is annual demand, O is ordering cost, C is carrying cost. Okay, or holding cost. So now economic order quantity is what? Function of demand, that is A, annual demand, C, carrying cost, and ordering cost. Okay. Decrease in carrying cost. Let's say if this is decreasing, denominator is decreasing, this will increase what it will increase? Inventory levels, correct or wrong?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
If your carrying cost is decreasing, yeah. So what happens? Decrease in carrying cost permits a company to carry more inventory. You can carry more inventory if your carrying cost is decreasing. Okay. And thereby you can reduce your stock out. So cost of carrying inventory decreases. Of course, if denominator decreases, the particular ratio increases. The basic EOQ model includes which of the following assumptions? The same fixed quantities ordered at each reorder point. Is it so? I think this is right. Always you want to order the same fixed quantity. If you maintain your inventory at EOQ, you always want to maintain or order at EOQ. Purchasing costs are unaffected by quantity ordered. Yes, whatever the quantity you order more or less, the purchase cost is same. It is constant always. Purchase order lead time is known with certainty. What about this? Yes, if I want to, order 300 units and my EOQ is 50, so 6 times I need to order. Isn't it so? Purchase order time is known with certainty. If I need to divide 360 by 6, how much? 60 days I need to make or place the order every time. So it is fixed, right? Yes. Adequate inventory is always maintained to avoid stockouts. Yes, so B option. So like you continue till here. More, how many questions are there in this? 15 questions are there, 33, right? We need to do 15. We'll see whether if we have time, we'll do. Just a second. Okay, do the 9th question. Involve yourself. The controller at a chain of hardware stores wants to determine the optimum safety stock levels for an air purifier unit. So there is a cost controller at a chain of hardware stores. He wants to determine the optimum safety stock levels. He wants to maintain a stock level. That means at that level, like, they always want to maintain the inventory. Below that, they don't want the inventory to go. Inventory manager compiled the following data. Annual carrying cost of inventory approximates 20% of the investment in inventory. So let's say it is $10. So of that, $2 is the annual carrying cost for them. Inventory investment per unit averages $50. Stock out $5 cost. If at all there is a stock out, they don't have enough stock to sell to customers, they're going to lose $5, or they're going to incur a cost of $5. Company orders inventory on the average of 10 times per year. Total cost is always carrying cost plus expected stock out cost. Probabilities of a stock out per order cycle with varying levels of safety stock are as follows. So probability of stock out per order cycle with varying levels of safety stock. Safety stock, resulting stock out, probability. So if they have to maintain a safety stock and there shouldn't be any kind of stock out, okay. If they maintain 200 units of safety stock, there is no stock out they'll be having. Chance of that also is 0%. If they maintain 100 units of safety stock, okay, there can be a stock out of 100 units. Why? Because when they maintain 200 units of safety stock, that means that much stock they should always have. There wasn't any kind of stock out, and the probability of that happening was also 0. But now if they are maintaining 100 units, the stock out is 100 units. That means this much units they are having shortage, and this probability is 15%. Like the data is given. So total cost of safety stock on annual basis with safety stock level of 100 units is dash. Total cost of safety stock. Okay. So you should always understand what is the formula. Total cost is carrying cost plus expected cost of stock out. Okay. Now, what is that data given? So annual carrying cost of inventory approximates 20% of investment in inventory. So first, at 20% investment in inventory, okay, annual carrying cost of inventory approximates in general 20% of investment in inventory. Inventory investment per unit averages 50. So 20% of 50, how much? $10. This is their carrying amount, isn't it so? $10 per unit. So now how many units we are considering? 100 units, right? Yeah. So 100 into 10, that becomes 1000 plus expected cost of stock out. When you speak about expected cost of stock out, probability comes into picture. So with 100 units only they're asking, right? So 15% is the probability. 100 units of safety stock. So 100. Okay. Into what is the expected estimated stock out cost is $5. into 1.5. Is it right? 15%, right? 15% of the probability. 15%. 100 into 5. Expected cost of stock out. 100 units. $5 per unit. Company orders inventory on an average of 10 times per year. Just a second. So the stock out cost is $500 for every stock out, and 10 times per year they order. So 10 times into 15% chance of happening stock out. So 1.5 orders. Okay. Okay. So we will do one thing. 500 into 1.5. We will club all this. So you'll get expected cost of stock out. See what happens. $500 is the $500 is the stock out cost. Okay. And how many orders you make in a year? And the chance of that also happening is 15%. So 10 orders you make. So into 15%. So 1.5 orders almost is going to be like, stock out. Okay. You're going to face stock out. So if 10 times company orders, 15% is the chance of stock out. So like number of stock outs will be 1.5 times. Okay. So now 1000 plus 500 into 7.5 is 750. That becomes $1750. Okay. 1750. Just make a note of this. You need to understand first is we have found out the carrying cost $1000. Then expected cost of stock out, probability comes into picture. So $5 is the stock out cost. 100 units you always want to maintain the safety stock, and 15 if you make 10 orders in a year, 15% of that is 1.5. So this is like stock outs. This many stock outs can happen in a year. 1.5 times multiplied, we got the expected cost of stock out. So the total cost is 1750. Please make a note.
Sir.
Okay, hello. Done? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So now you we'll stop here. We'll continue the next topics tomorrow. I'm also almost on holiday on Monday because of Bonalu. So tomorrow I'll finish this. Okay. And I think only cash management will be left over. We can target this in this 2 days. Working capital will be done. Fine. I'll
Okay.
inform the time for tomorrow. Be ready for the class at that time. Thank you.
Okay. Sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.